Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to you. I came out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Chaya Napash coming at you with another lesson. And this lesson is going to be entitled, They Will Not Understand Until It Is Too Late. And I'm speaking about the woman, okay, our women, the women of the tribes, and especially, as we always say, the ringleader, the so-called black woman, the ringleader of wickedness. They won't get it until it's too late. Right now, they're also in their heaven, quote unquote, meaning they're in a position of rulership, so to speak, with the serpent, the so-called white man, the Edomites. And they're loving this newfound power, this newfound authority that he has given them, which is actually destroying them. But, they're not smart enough to realize that. But but the bottom line is they're not willing to give that up. Right. So all these podcasts, it's like, to me, what irritates me about these podcasts is like they're trying to get them to see the light. They're not going to see the light. They don't want to see the light. It's just like these Edomites, when you tell them the truth about their history and things like that, they don't want to see the light. They don't want, even though you might have all the documents and facts, they will ignore it. OK, and say it's invalid because they don't want to see the light. Right. And even if they see it, does that mean they're going to give back the Native Americans their land? Does that mean they're going to restore back, what they've done, pay back what they've done to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? No, they're not going to do that. OK, because they won't understand until that judgment comes. Same thing with these women. All right. So I'm going to play this video real quick and get a few scriptures.
Hit the notification bell, join the membership, and listen to the podcast audio every Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. Let me get to this first topic. It says, are black men often viewed as the least ideal partners for black women? And I do want to get into this first clip. I want us to listen to it. You're going to be familiar with this clip, and then we're going to dive into it. What if you could play that real quick?
Let's get into it. Don't chew me up, because I know how you believe this like to tussle. I think black men are all alike. I think black men don't like black women. I think you can meet 10 black men on different dating sites and they all cheat and they don't respect their women. I think every other race values black women other than black men. I think...
Let me pause it for a second. Ha, 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 ha. What a joke. You hear what she just said? I think all other races value black women. Let's just keep playing. I just have to laugh at that part because that is just a ridiculous statement.
The real different dating sites and they all cheat and they don't respect their women. I think every other race values black women other than black men. I think the real gag is black men don't like black women. Like, they're cheaters. I'm convinced every black guy is a cheater. I bet half of y'all can't even drop one black man that love y'all that's loyal. Ooh, the gag. Black men hate us so much, but black women be the ones supporting them. And I know how you guys like to get in your bag. Don't be mad. Get you a Mexican, get you a Jamaican, get you a Haitian. Anything but a black man. And I'm stamping it. And if you want a white guy, if it ain't white, he ain't right. I just feel like black women, we need to date outside our race because black men don't like us. And we shouldn't like them, period. Stamping it. Stand on it.
You standing on it.
Standing on it.
That shit must be food stamps.
No, standing on it.
So what made you write that? Well, have this post, and what made you?
Well, first of all, it's my preference. So all the black men were so offended. It's my preference. I've had bad experience with dating black men. They've been abusive to me. Not all of them, but the ones I've dated. So that's my preference. I wouldn't want to date a African American black guy. I would do a Haitian, or I
wonder if she went to go get a mailman or a man that was into I don't know, an engineer or someone who was working construction, a regular Jake, I wonder what type of Jake she was talking to. Just a thought. Okay, just a thought.
Date outside my race. Like, even coming, I'm the only child, feel me? Like, my father, he's a black male, but he didn't give me a good example of how a male should treat a woman.
I wonder if she got somebody that was part of the chess club, or, you know, he was a bookworm, or, you know, he was really into school and studies. And I wonder what kind of Jake she chose for herself, you know? I hope it wasn't a drug dealer or, you know, a scammer, or, you know what I mean?
Man, used to beat on my mom. Used to do he's verbally and physically abusive. That's not something that I want. And I've encountered that on several different occasions. So that's how I feel. And I feel like the black men out here that want to date, like, outside of their race with the white women or celebrities, I don't take care to that. That's their preference. So with they shit, like, feel me, it don't bother me. So I'm stamping it. That's how I feel.
So anyways, and then basically when you watch this podcast, the other two women, they agree with her. You know, they're in an echo chamber, you know, and they support each other. They're all in this demonic, you know, agreement together, right? Even though they say they don't agree, but they're supporting everything she's saying. So, it's okay what she's saying. She has the right to think that. I agree, but then I don't really have those views, and it's a lot of confusion. But you know how it goes, okay? So my thing is this. Just wait, okay? We just have to wait, because we're coming to a time where they're going to need men, okay? They're going to need men. Let's go to Isaiah, the 32nd chapter. We always bring this out from time to time, all right? This is Isaiah 32 and verse 2, and they're going to need specifically the so-called black man, really the elect man, right? And I don't really understand the separation between, I never used to understand the separation between, you know, you got a so-called Jamaican, and he's not black, or a Haitian and he's not black. This is a new thing to me, since this is something I learned when, you know, a few years ago. You know, I didn't know about this thing growing up. I always looked at us as so-called black people, which that term in itself is a confusion. It's confused, okay? Because, you know, we act similar. We all act similar. So what she's saying is just to rouse up the Judites. Anyways, this is Isaiah 32 and 2. It says, "And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land." Right? So a man is going to be like a water in a dry place. Like you've been wandering for days, and you finally get that water. That's what the so-called black man is going to be for you women in the times to come, when all hell breaks loose, that we always speak about, right? And she's not going to have those views. She's not even going to remember this podcast when that time comes, okay? What she's going to be thinking about is her survival, right? Is her survival. And guess what? No man of the Lord is going to accept her. No man of the Lord is going to accept any woman like this in the spirit, because the spirit is going to reveal that you're no good, that you are against us. Okay? You understand? And that goes for any tribe. That goes for any woman tribe talking down against the men of the tribes, man. All right? You know she has a disdain and a hatred for the so-called black man. Even the Jamaican man that she's supposed to be dating, a Benjaminite, she has disdain for him too. So that simp weirdo nigga, because he's a simp weirdo. Because why would I be with a woman that's talking like that about so-called black men, about Jakes? Clearly she has no respect for you. And you know she's not in order. You know she's not in order. You know that. You know she's got all kind of attitude, all kind of disrespect. You already know. Well, that's what she showed on the video. So a lot of you Jakes, you get into situations with these women, and you can't feel sorry for these niggas, because they don't have any, like, they don't have no common sense or no self-respect. Let's jump down. This is Isaiah 32 and verse 9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come." And these women represent us as a nation towards Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The wickedness that we did as a nation toward Yahweh Shem Yahushai, our women, especially the southern kingdom, okay, is a representation of that. All right? So when you see how wicked Jake was and rebellion to the Most High, it's like, yo, what's wrong with them? And now we're turning back, crying unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The elect are, not the rest of them, just the elect. Okay? They're turning back and they're going to receive mercy. But then you have the 2/3 that even after all that rebellion and wickedness throughout the centuries, all right, really millennia, okay, they're still being wicked in these generations, still being disrespectful to the Most High. Still, so when that passing scourge comes, that flow, that judgment comes, they're going to get swept up right along with the heathen. The same thing with you so-called black women. Okay? It says, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare. And gird sackcloth upon your loins. That represents the shame that's going to come to you. You know? Hey, man. And once, as we get closer to this time, a lot of these men are going to shame you too. A lot of these men, they've been watching these videos and, you know, the Kevin Samuel and these so-called red pill guys or whatever. A lot of them are weirdos too, right? But they say a lot of truth. But I'm speaking about their character, you know, but they speak a lot of truth as well, right? Which these are things that are not new to us because we already learned most of these things from the apostles and elders, right? Those were the original, if you will, quote unquote, red pillars, man. All right. And all these things is building up what? A disconnect, an animosity from these men to you women. So what's going to happen, especially between the so-called black man and the black woman, but not just them, even these women of these other nations. So what's going to happen when all hell breaks loose? You will definitely be in the worst position because when things get real, guess what women need? They need men. It says, they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vines. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars. Yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city, you know. So the Lord is gonna really make things turn around. But all that back chat you had, all that disrespect you had, right? It's gonna fall upon your own head. Okay, it's gonna fall upon your own head. And really, what they're doing here, when you watch these different things, the so-called black woman, she's really demonizing us, the same way the so-called white man demonized us, used to his media and all these different things. They're putting that bad stigma out there about us, right? So that can be how these other women look at us too. And a lot of them, they like to try to discourage these other women from dealing with us because they're a bunch of haters, man. Okay, they're a bunch of haters. Anyways, this is Micah 7:10. It says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, right? So they're your enemies, man. And shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Okay, let's go into this, man. Right? Let's look into this word enemy, man. Because they definitely are your enemy. If you can't see that, you so-called black man, if you're still so blind that you can't see that, you just need to die. Okay? Because it's clear. It's clear as day. There's so much stories I could tell you about the hate of these hoes, you know? Anyways, this is Ayab. It says enemy, personal, national, foes, right? Adversary. Okay, foe. You know what? Let's look up the definition in Google of enemy. Right? I often go into that there's an incident where I was in a smoothie store a couple years back, and this woman, this so-called black woman, with bald ass head. There was this guy in front that was before me. I was kind of on the side, and he was ordering his drink. And, he was being super friendly to her. You could tell that he might have kind of liked her or whatever. He was just being super friendly. Like he was in that, oh, sister, you're one of my sisters type vibe, the Dr. Umar type spirit. That's how he was coming. And I was peeping it, but I was looking at her face and her reactions. And I'm looking, and he's not noticing it, but I'm noticing it. She's looking at him with a particular disdain and disgust. Like she's better than him, like fucking. Like almost like how a racist Edomite would look at a so-called black person. That's how she was looking at him. And I was peeping that. I was like, this bitch is full of hate. She's full of hate for the so-called black man. And I'm standing there on the sidelines, man. Right? And I'm watching her while she's watching him with hate. I'm watching her with hate. And then then she turns to me and she looks at me, seeing me look at her a particular way, and she jumps. She got kind of like, oh my goodness, oh shit, he caught me. Like, oh, he caught me. Look, he caught me looking with my true. He sees the true way I feel. That's how she looked at me. So like, I'm not good at telling stories, but anyways, then basically, long story short, I'm keep looking at her like, bitch, hurry up and give me my fucking drink, right? And guess what? She gave me an extra drink, man. She said, I got extra. Do you want some extra? Because her fucking, the gig was up, man. The gig was up. All right? So they might act like they're cool with you and they're all about black love and all this shit. Listen, man, they're enemies. The bottom line is they're in the mind state of enemies. Esau has created this monster within them, and it's a cultural thing. This is why that's why the apostles say stay away from the so-called black woman in general. It's a cultural thing. Even if one of them tried to do the right thing, guess what? There's going to be an influence of their aunties, their cousin, their sister, their mothers telling them to do the wrong things. You don't gotta cook for that man, and that. And what's that gonna do to a woman that's impressionable? It's gonna poison her mind, where she starts to feel ashamed of actually being a woman. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own mother. I've seen it happen. I've seen that happen. So it's a poison. It's an actual poison. Anyways, let's read this, man. It says a person who is actively opposed, and they are actively opposed against. You see all them videos they're making against you? You see how much Jakes are locked up in the prison system behind some bitch because she got mad? I'm talking about a white woman. I'm not talking about a white woman right now. I'm talking about a so-called black woman, man. Okay? Or hostile to someone or something. Are they not hostile towards you? Do I have to break that down to you? Are they not hostile towards you? They don't even want to smile at you. Okay? You go to ask them. I don't ask the so-called black woman for the time. I don't ask her for directions. Hey, bro, I'll walk to hey, man. I'll walk for miles lost before I ask them for anything, man. Because you ask them for something, and they're acting like you trying to holler at them, and they probably know you're not trying to holler at them, but it's just because that they just like that ego boost, It's like a real demonic. They're bugged out, man. They're real bugged out, bro. It says a hostile nation or its armed force, right? Which we're not dealing with a nation, but you know what I mean. A thing that harms or weakens something else. Well, hold on. There's a scripture that speaks about a wife making feeble knees, right? In the Apocrypha. Feeble knees, right? A lot of these Jakes, they're in such a, weak. You can look at us when a so-called black man's walking with a so-called black woman, you could see that he's defeated. he's in captivity. Like might as well have a what do you call that? A yoke of iron around his neck or something. That's how he looks. And then when you see him with an Edomite or another nation, he got this smiley, he's loose. His shoulders are moving from side to side. He's loose. He's walking like Conor McGregor, right? Anyways, this is Ecclesiasticus 25 and verse. I'll start at verse. Man, you know what? I'll start at verse. Man, Damn. I feel like I want to get all of that, but you know what? I don't want to. Let's jump down to the point. I'll start at verse 19. It says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. So this doesn't sound like it's supposed to be putting women on pedestals. The Bible seems like it's speaking down on women. It says that what? That all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. See, and this is the facts. Okay? It says, as the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. It's not to say there's actual women that are righteous and decent, right? There is. That's why we have those examples written. But those are very, very rare cases. That's why the scripture says, who can find a virtuous woman? You know? The sister that's virtuous, that's a rare specimen. That's very valuable and very rare. Okay? But the majority of these women, man, it is just completely wicked. And even them that are righteous, they still got that, they're still vulnerable to Satan. You know? It says, as the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Right? You know how the end up gets. Right? Stumble not at the beauty. And this is just the women in the West in general too. Right? Because they're completely out of order. Right? It says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. And this is why we can't feel sorry for some of these guys, because they see all the signs. All the signs are there. It's not like they just pop up out of nowhere. All the signs are there that this bitch ain't shit. All the signs are there. And then they go into the relationship and then oh man, I'm catching hell. Yeah, you're catching hell because what you should have did was read the signs and not just look at her breast and her titties, man. We got to get on a higher level not to be looking at these things no more. I know it's difficult, but it should be a point where you look at this like, I can't take this bitch serious. At least you should be able to say that. I know I can't take this chick serious. You know? You should at least get to that level. Like, you should know what type of chick this is. You know? It says, it says, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. A wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh an heavy countenance. That's what I said. When I see these jakes, hey, man, they have a heavy countenance, man. Right? And a wounded heart. Right? A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. What did it say about an enemy? It said that it weakens an individual. An enemy is here to weaken you. The Edomites are there to weaken you. Okay? These so-called women, now someone call them so-called women because they're not even real women. They're here to weaken you. They, you know, especially the so-called black woman, especially the so-called black one. Point blank, period. Right? It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. So that's the bottom line. Okay, that is the bottom line. All right. And in fact, let me finish this off. It says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. So they're not supposed to be having the liberty to go wherever they want, to parties and this and that and the third, right? Good luck trying to control these hoes today. But you need to get a woman that has some type of sense that at least, you know, you can tell her certain things, she'll listen. Like, the chick just don't listen to nothing. I mean, come on, man. She's not even your woman at that point. She's just come on, man. I mean, it says, if she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. All right. Let's see what precepts we got here. Hey, Shalom Akia. Got the brother Zakar there. The brother Shema, Shalom. Sister there. Shalom. Okay, so let's read this. Ecclesiasticus 7:26. It says, hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman. Well, the majority of these women are light in the mind, but you don't want to. There's women that are more grave. I'll say that. There's women that are more grave than others. Okay, and a light woman is like an airhead type, chick that don't have much sense. She's just easily persuaded. You don't want to give yourself to that type of woman. This is Proverbs 31:3. It says, "Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings." Right. You're not supposed to give your strength to these women, because why? They're enemies. They're enemies, man. Okay, this is it, man. We're in spiritual warfare, man. And one of the biggest tools that Satan has is these women. All right. So you're not supposed to be, you're not supposed to take that lightly, right? When you know that the enemy can use a particular person or a particular thing against you, you should take heed to that. You should take heed to that. You should be weary of that. Okay, because they're not for your turn. They may act like they're for you. They love to speak about, oh, I'm all about black love, and I only would want to date a black man, and this and that, and all that stuff. It gets to Jig's head, and he thinks, this woman's actually for us. She's for me, man. No, she's not for you. Just because she says she only dates black men doesn't mean she's for you. If I say I only like dogs, I don't deal with cats. I only like dogs, right? I only like dogs. I'll never deal with any other animal but dogs. But then every time I get a dog, I abuse the dog. I'm kicking the dog. I'm throwing him. I'm not feeding him correctly. Right? Does that mean I'm actually for the dog? No, that just means this is my choice of animal to abuse. And that's what it is. That's what you should look at it as when they say I only like to date so-called black men and this and that. That doesn't mean shit. It's about how are you treating him? Are you submissive? Are you doing, are you playing your position? Are you uplifting this man? Are you doing what you're supposed to do to build him up? Or are you looking for ways to break him down? Are you trying to find because the black woman is an expert at that. Even this woman that when she was saying in the video, she was saying that for a reason to get the so-called black man upset and offended and to get in his emotion, because a lot of them are fucking emotional. All right. She said that for that reason. That's why she said what she said. And guess what? They fell for it. They fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Okay? And the so-called black woman is good at that, trying to say the things that will get you most pissed off. Like they're the type that'll say certain, if your mother just died a week ago, that's why your mother is dead if you get her mad enough. All right? Like they'll say that type of stuff. Like I remember that story, the guy that he shot the woman and her child because they were arguing over literally the remote control. And she brought up the fact because he had another son, right, by another woman. And he committed the son, offed himself. And she said, over an argument over the remote control, She said, that's why your son is dead. That's why your son killed himself because you a bitch. And he was a bitch or some crazy shit like that. So he lost it. So he started crying and breaking down. And he lost it. What kind of evil being would say something like that? I couldn't even, bro. Even if I hated the bitch, I couldn't. I wouldn't even dig to say something like that to somebody. I kind of feel bad. Even the devil, even Esau. In this state, right? I wouldn't even say that to Esau. I wouldn't even say that to the Edomite. Because I'm weak in the flesh. I'm in the flesh right now, bro. All right. So the flesh is like, I really want to say nothing like that. But they don't give a shit because they're your enemy. They hate you. Hey, man, listen, think about that. What kind of individual would say some shit like that? And they're professionals at that. Shoot, I was just thinking of a scripture, man. I was just thinking of a scripture. No. There's a scripture I was thinking of. Oh, yeah. Hey, a woman's heart, man. Right? I'm surprised the brother didn't put this one up, because this is very. Oh, the brother did put that up. Didn't the brother put this up? Yeah, the brother did put that up. Let me double check. Yeah, the brother Zakar put this up, but. Sometimes no, forsake or not. Hold on. What? Actually, no, that's a different scripture. It's a different scripture. that back up. You put up Ecclesiastes 7:26, but it seems like it was a different scripture that came up. Because this is Ecclesiastes 7:26 here, brother. This is you put up that's Ecclesiasticus, excuse me. It's Ecclesiastes, Salakia. That was Sirach that the brother had up. Okay, I was confused for a second. This is Ecclesiastes 7:26. It says, "And I find more bitter than death the woman, whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her." Right, so she's all about trapping you up. Let me read this in the NLT. It says, "I discover that a seductive woman, and really any woman, is a trap more bitter than death. Her passion is a snare, and her soft hands are chains. Those who are pleasing to the Most High will escape her, but the sinners will be caught in her snare." And they're always trying to trap you up. The whole thing is a power struggle. They have so much demons on them. They're trying to actually gain power over you when they're supposed to be under you. Okay, especially the so-called black woman. She has a thirst to dominate men, and certain things that it just gets them so jittery, and they get so excited when they hear it, like polyamorous, like a woman having multiple husbands. Yeah, that's cool. I think that's real cool. Yeah, I couldn't do it, but I think it's cool. Because they have a specific type of demon in them that likes that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was just watching something where a dude said he wants a woman that's aggressive. It's the pop the balloon shit. He said, I want a woman that's aggressive, that choke me. And he was saying it like kind of jokey, but he was kind of serious at the same time. And the women were all had that giggle, and they all were enjoying that because they like to think of themselves having that power over a man. And you simp ass, weird ass, cuck niggas, you actually give that energy off. And this is a part of the reason why they act the way they act, because you feed them. Hey man, you gotta go too, man. You have to go as well. Yeah, man. Hey, bro. But their mind is to trap you up. That's what their minds to do. Get you either they want to get you emotionally invested and having a roller coaster of emotions and all these different things. Don't get emotional behind what these chicks say. What they say is not important, man. Don't be all emotional over, they're trying to insult you and draw you out. That's all a trap. That's all a trap. And they're good at doing that. They're good at pulling out the worst of men. With all that talent they have to seduce men and this and that to get them to do what they want, why don't they use that to build a man up? Why don't they use that to get a man to serve the Lord or something? But no, they're using their talent. They're using their talent for wickedness. You see? So anyways, I don't even need to really play much more, but I'll play a little bit.
Okay. What's your thoughts on this?
I think she's entitled to her preference.
Thank you, sister.
What I would say is, I do understand that it's more of a from experience. So it comes from a metric of what you've actually experienced, like from personal. But the fact that we're setting a tone or a stigma in regards to like black men is highly. I'm playing the devil's advocate. Like I'm not.
You see how hard it is for them to just say something is wrong when it comes to the other so-called black woman. You see how hard it is for them to say, that was wrong, girl. You shouldn't have said that. And first of all, this demon has a damn shirt called HIV positive. What the fuck is going on here, man? Yo, these hoes are filthy. They're filthy out here. Talking, but then they got the biggest mouth. When they should be humble. If the Most High gave you that kind of plague, then shouldn't you be humble?
On the opposite side, because I've seen domestic violence and stuff like that in the black communities and black homes. But I am not one to say that all black men are the same. It's similar to like when we were speaking on zodiacs and characteristics. Everybody doesn't fall into a box. It's just like them judging us as black women. All black women are not aggressive, or come from a background of
Listen, man. The majority of these so-called black men are goddamn simps. So I don't know. They be talking like the black man is this big monster, and the women and the majority of them are simps. The majority of them are all about catering to women and you can't talk to a woman like that, because they were raised by their mama. So I don't know what they're acting like. There's this big influx of black men just beating them over the head with a club and dragging them into a cave and graping. They're that color purple type vibe they're trying to paint the so-called black man as, which that's not the case. And then when them other women deal with the so-called black man, they're like, oh shit, what are they complaining about? I didn't know it was like, oh, what are they complaining about? These guys are great. Because a lot of them are a bunch of simps. All right? So I don't know what the hell you're talking about, man.
To be alpha female or super independent. Some women do have, it depends on your nurturing and your nature of things. Mm-hmm. So I don't believe that we should stand on setting the tone, especially as a black woman. You should realize that how empowered you are as a black woman to say those things because you're coming from a black community stating those things. So it is very sensitive when we say it compared to a white person or somebody from a different culture saying it. That was one thing. And then on top of that, I only see two colors. So when I heard certain things, I'm like, I get it. But like your beautiful boyfriend now is technically, if we went back into slave times, he would be considered a,
black person. Educate me, because my man said that Jamaicans aren't black, so that's why I'm saying.
No, I'm South American and Guyanese. But
it's all confusion, man. It's black. What the hell is black? The so-called white man called you black. There ain't no such thing as black people, man. You're brown skin. All of you are brown skin, from the southern kingdom, most likely. Even though she said she was South American, from the southern kingdom. Anyways, let's continue.
What's your thoughts on this, Joe?
It's a stupid conversation, man. Let's go over here. Let's hear a little bit.
Was all saying is that it was the factor that you said all.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
That's all they're saying. It's not saying like if you would have said through my experience with X, Y, and Z, then it would be more
directed toward you.
Focus on that, your metrics and your experience. But when you say all, it sets the tone as a empowered black woman that you have experienced it, and it's most black men, which is messing up our community in a sense because it's setting a stigma that all black men do this. All black men do that. Speak to Mike. Okay. All black men do this, and all black men do that.
And another thing. Okay, there's another thing. They're talking about fucking cheating. The big thing with the black woman, the big complaint she has is cheating. Well, I got a news flash for you. All men so-called cheat. And I hate that word cheating. There's no such thing as a man cheating on you. A man, if he wants to get a woman that's if he wants to get a woman, right, that's not married, there's nothing wrong with that. That's according to the biblical laws. And then they'll go back to the Bible. So that's adultery. That's not adultery, man. All right? It's not adultery at all, man. Okay? King David had multiple wives. King Solomon had multiple wives. All right? Our forefather Jacob had multiple wives. Abraham. So what the hell are you talking about? It's cheating shit. And that's their excuse for everything. That's their excuse for everything in the book. Well, he cheated on me. So fucking what? So what? I'm gonna tell you like Henry II said it. Henry VIII said in the movie Tudors, which is a great series. He said to his wife, what did he say? He said, you will be quiet and you will endure. Listen, man. I'm not. Hey, man. That's just sometimes you gotta get raw, man. Right? Sometimes you gotta get raw, because that's all BS, man. This is Exodus 21:10. And a real woman that's secure in herself, she's not worried about no other woman taking her place. Oh, Salakia. Right? She's not worried about another woman taking her place because she's doing what she needs to do. She's doing what she needs to do, man. All right? This is Exodus 21:10. It says, if he take, matter of fact, let's go here. It says, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. So this is in the law. So the law here is stating that you can take another wife. All right? But you got to be giving the first wife, the things that you were giving her before. It's very simple. You can't neglect her. It's very simple. But he can have as much women as he desires. The thing is, they're afraid that that woman's going to take their place because they're not secure. What do you say? Okay, yeah, you will shut your eyes and endure. That's what that was going back to the so-called. So I think that was actually a bit after the Dark Ages. Okay, that was after the Dark Ages, around the time of the Renaissance. But King Henry was a Jake. Okay, so their whole excuse for what they do is cheating. Which is nonsense. Did righteous foremothers have that mindset? Did Sarah have that mindset? No, Sarah actually gave Abraham another wife. He said, here, have my servant Hagar. She didn't complain about that. And she was a righteous woman, where you women should be trying to desire to be like, not like goddamn Cardi B. All right. And the rest of these sluts out here, man. All right. But that's really what they really follow after, man. Hey, black culture is a mess, man. And that includes Jamaicans. That includes Haitians. All black culture is a mess. All the Southern Kingdom, the culture is a mess. And so is the Latino Kingdom. But the Southern culture, man, is something terrible. Okay?
And it just sets the wrong tone, is what they're all saying. They're saying if you never
I
said
hear what y'all saying.
then it was perfect because you're like JP.
I respect
saying,
it.
You're welcome to have your own opinion, but it was the words that you chose.
I feel like regardless, even if I say all parts, that's how I feel. Some other people say, "Oh, black women are aggressive." I don't give a flying fuck because that's how they feel. What they shit or how they feel don't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
So I don't.
White men say that all black people are lazy. We know we're not lazy. We know we work our ass off. But we gonna check everybody. Like, bro, I'm not gonna fight because I know.
Which I agree with her on that. You shouldn't even be emotional behind this. Because it really doesn't matter. She said what she said. Yeah, some of these dudes get emotional at certain things that's said, and they get emotional like a woman. It's like, yo, what's up with you? If they say that's okay. At the end of the day, we're coming to the time where they're going to need so-called black men. And I remember when C-19 happened. The C-19, there was all kind of podcasts. And that's really when that whole manosphere thing became very popular. And all these dudes started to have these podcasts because these women were getting scared when that C-19 was happening. And they were looking in the grocery stores. They were looking for men, smiling at men. Chicks smiling at me. Like, what the fuck? I mean, like some fine valley girl type chick smiling at me, when I'm dressed all rough and, So I'm like, what the hell's going on? Because these women started to get scared at that time. And the black women started to realize, wait a minute, the black men ain't fucking with us right now. And then they started going these podcasts and say, what do we do? How could we fix this? How could we fix it? They came very, very humble, man, in those podcasts, man. Somewhat humble, because all hell didn't break loose yet. But that was a prelude of what's to come, right? And so when things started to get back to normal somewhat, they saw that, society was still up intact. They went back to being the demons and the unruly chicks that they are, the unruly women that they are, right? Because they see society went back, went back to normal, so to speak. But guess what? As that from 2020 to 2024, going into 2025, the relationship between the so-called black man and the so-called black woman, or the man and woman in general, has became worse. It did not get better. Okay? From the time of the so-called gender wars, it is at the worst state that it has ever been. So guess what? There's a big disconnect between men and women. So what's going to happen? These men ain't going to be looking to protect you. A lot of these dudes out here, there's a lot of crazy, deranged, Jeffrey Dahmer type, bugged out, Ted Bundy type individuals walking around right now, going to their jobs. Okay. That's why the scriptures speak about what? There be spirits created for vengeance. You're going to see those spirits that are created for vengeance pop up in these times. And then that's when the pride is going to leave you. That's when you're going to realize you done messed up, and it's going to be too late for you. And this is the point that I'm making. And I don't even want to stay on this too long, man, but the spirit these things have to be made, because you have to be warned too. You have to be warned too. So when the Lord because the Lord has a heavy judgment for the woman coming. So when these things come, man, you can't be surprised. All right. right? And this is really love. What I'm giving is love for the sisters that are sincere to see this and see how not to be. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect, and I'll give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there, pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Shalom.